All right, everyone, welcome to this video where the objective is that students will be able to apply function notation to word stories by understanding the meaning of the input and output. We're just going to dive right in. I'm going to do a lot of writing on this one. I really got to start using my iPad, but it will be a quick video. If you have a function, the d of t, that represents the function traveled by a car as a function of time in minutes, what would the d of 100 mean? So all of this is asking me to understand inputs and outputs of functions. And so I have some function. It represents the distance traveled by a car as a function of time in minutes. So what does this function do? If I input how much time the car has been driving, the function will output how many miles they've traveled, right? It's a little confusing when it doesn't even give us the function. It's kind of hard to visualize it, but really that's what this is. I input time, how much time's gone by into this function, and the function will tell me how far the car has gone. And so this d of 100, it tells me it's been 100 minutes. That's what this means. It's been 100 minutes. And so the meaning of the d of 100 is the distance traveled after 100 minutes. All right, that's the meaning. The distance traveled, I don't think I'm going to write all these out, after 100 minutes. All right, so I input, we don't know the distance traveled because it didn't actually give us the function. We'll do that in example 2. But that's what it means. The distance traveled after 100 minutes, all right? So let's look at another one. Get myself out of the way. So consider a function, the r of x, to calculate the revenue. That's why the function is named r, because it's calculating the revenue generated from selling x tickets to an event. What does the r of 0 reveal about the event's financial outlook? Well, so we have some relationship where we input the amount of tickets they've sold, and it outputs their revenue, right? So if they sell 10 tickets, how much revenue did they make? If they may sell 5 tickets, how much revenue did they make? If they sold 10,000 tickets, how much revenue did they make? Well, it's in this situation, how many tickets do they sell? They sold 0 tickets. And so we're going to need to think about that. What does that mean before they sold 0 tickets? Well, that's their financial situation at the beginning, right? They haven't sold any tickets yet. So sometimes it's kind of giving us the y-intercept at the beginning. So the financial situation at the beginning before they've sold any tickets, all right? Tells us where they started. Did they start in debt? Did they have some positive profits already? Yada, yada, yada. Alrighty. Let's move forward and have you try one. Suppose there's a function, the t of x, that represents the temperature in room as a function of time in minutes. What does the t of 5 signify? Go ahead, pause the video, and try these 2 questions. All right. Hopefully you solve these on your own and you're ready for me to go over it real quick. I'm not going to write anything on the YouTube, so just listen, listen, listen. What does the t of 5 signify here? Well, the input to this function is the amount of time that's gone by, and the output is the temperature in the room. So if I input 5 minutes, what does it output? The temperature after 5 minutes, right? So that should be your answer here. Something along those lines. The temperature in the room after 5 minutes. The temperature in the room after 5 minutes. All right, imagine a function, the SOT models the savings in a bank account over time in minutes. What does the S of 0 represent? So if we input time into this function, it outputs the amount of savings in the bank account. So it's been 0 minutes. How much money does this person have in their bank account? That's what this would output, right? At the start, at the beginning. So the answer here should be something like the amount of money in the bank account at the beginning, the amount of money in the bank account at the start. All right. All right. So now let's actually take this a step further and solve for the output, and then put that full input and output into context. So Imagine a linear function, the P of U, is equal to 50U minus 100. That represents the profit of a business in the amount of units sold. Explain the meaning of the P of 3 in the context of the company's financial situation. Well, here's the function, right? Function named P, representing the amount of profit. We're going to input the amount of units into U, and it's going to output their profit. We input units, it outputs profit. So explain the meaning of the P of 3. First, let's find the P of 3. By plugging in a 3, this is from yesterday's video, into the function. So I'm going to solve this. The P of 3 equals 150 minus 100. The P of 3 equals 150 minus 100 is 50. So what does this function mean? It means that when I input a 3, it outputs a 50. When I input a 3, it outputs a 50. All right, sorry, I had to pause the video real quick, and we're back. So yeah, we have the P of 3 equals 50. What does this mean? Well, it means if they sell 3 units, their profit is $50. If the input is 3 units, the output is $50. And so that's the answer to this question, all right? If they sell 3 units, input the 3, they profit $50. All right, that's the meaning in this situation. All right, time for you to try one on your own. Given the link, you can read it on your own. Go ahead, pause, and begin. All right, hopefully you're unpausing because you just finished solving that question. I'm going to go through it quickly. I'm not going to write the meaning down, but I will write the solving down. So we have a linear function. The function represents the d of t, which is the distance traveled in minutes. What does the d of 8 signify in terms of the car's journey? You'd have to start by plugging in the d of 8. And you get the d of 8 equals 60 times 8 is 480 plus 20. The d of 8 equals 480 plus 20 is 500. All right, so what does this mean? If I input 8 minutes, output 500 miles. Wow, this is a really fast car. There's a little bit of a typo. Maybe this would be a rocket. It means that the car travels 500 miles in 8 minutes. The car travels 500 miles in 8 minutes. That's the meaning of this. Hopefully you're able to get that and have it written on your paper. I'm not going to write it here. If you have any questions, feel free to see your teacher.